Listen, this is a common thing that happens where if you're not getting things done off your to-do list, you get upset with yourself. This isn't going to work towards you getting results and building towards your goals, unfortunately. But this is a pattern that gets learned that we do over time, where when we didn't get things done on our chore chart, we didn't get things done throughout the day, we end up beating ourselves up and then feeling like, okay, I can't have fun. I can't go do the things that I want to do until I get all the things off my to-do list. Are you doing this? Is this a pattern that you're doing? This is a issue that is affecting your discipline and your focus and your time management. The reason is because we believe that doing this is going to help us be more productive. That when we get upset with ourselves, when we don't do things, that we are going to somehow work better next time to not let that thing happen. But this works against us. And so that belief is actually broken. That belief is working against us. It's not serving us. That we believe that we're a failure, that we did something wrong, that we have to somehow maybe punish ourselves for not getting things done off of our to-do list. And so a way to kind of combat this, to flip it, is to shift your perspective. I want to encourage you to try something. When you get stuck, when you make a mistake and aren't consistent with something, try what I call strategic distraction, where you intentionally distract yourself and do something that you would normally reward yourself with. Could be reading a fiction novel, could be watching an episode on Netflix, could be playing video games is what I like to do, could be going for a drive. You might think, wait, how does this help you be more productive? To do something that is unproductive, because you're doing it intentionally on your choice. Then you'll come back with energy and focus to do what you need to do next time. The other thing is, quit beating yourself up when you don't get things done off your to-do list. This is a pattern that's been learned throughout your life to do, to where, okay, you can't reward yourself until you do all the things on the list. We got to break that pattern. Listen, this works as far as, as children, listen, you're not going to be able to watch TV until you get all your chores done. This works an employee. You're not going to be able to go get a paycheck until you get everything off the list, and you might get fired. Performance reviews. Listen, you don't have anybody giving you performance reviews as an entrepreneur. And so as somebody that wants to go make 6 and 7 figures, many times we can get very harsh with ourselves on our performance reviews, and it's counterproductive. So you actually have to give yourself grace to allow yourself to choose what you're going to do at each moment. This is empowering you on 2 levels. You're going to empower yourself to do the things that you need to do when you want to do them, not out of obligation. And you're going to empower yourself to have fun, enjoy the process, not feel shame when you don't do a live video, when you don't send an email out, when you forget and get distracted by something, and then you beat yourself up and mull over it. Is that something that you do? Do you punish yourself when you don't do the things that are on your to-do list? Is that a pattern for you? I believe if you're watching this right now, that may somehow possibly be a pattern. And I know that because that was the pattern in my life. Is that whenever I had a goal and I didn't do it exactly how I saw it in my head, I would beat myself up, punish myself, and get upset with myself in an unfair way to myself and say, okay, I'm going to do better next time. You want to know what broke it for me? I stopped doing that. I started allowing myself to go have some fun even when I had a lot on my to-do list, and allowing things to do my best every single day. This process of saying, okay, I have enough time to get myself done. I have an adequate amount of time. I'm not insignificant and bad because I didn't get things done. And I'm not worried about getting punished for not doing things. Listen, life ends up, if you don't do work, you're not going to get paid. You're not going to grow your business. We all know this. We don't need to punish ourselves more and give ourselves more consequences on top of the natural order of things. And this is what I ended up doing, is I ended up re-punishing myself and giving myself more consequences than just, paycheck is not going to come in if I don't do the work. We know that reality. We understand that. So give yourself the ability to choose what you're going to do each day, to plan your day out. Take a look at what are you doing throughout blocks of time. If you find yourself getting distracted scrolling on social media, you're on social media now watching this video, turn off some of the notifications on your phone. Give yourself maybe some strategic moments where you scroll, but then set a timer for 30 minutes to stop and then go back into doing the things that you want to do. Try this for 2 to 3 days, you're going to notice a change in your productivity. You're going to notice that you're getting more done in those areas that you were unproductive just by ending the beating up cycle, ending the self-punishment, ending the self-hate cycle, and doing some of this strategic distraction where you choose when you're going to get distracted. I choose that I'm going to go play a video game for 30 minutes. I choose that I'm going to scroll on social media. The other thing too is, you get to choose, okay, I'm not going to do that for an hour or two. It's all a choice. So then we take back the ownership of the choices of when we do the things that we want to do. We can't blame it on outside influences. We have to start to take ownership over what we're choosing to do. I understand that a lot of us as well maybe have been through disempowering environments, whether it's in a workplace or in the home, to where it's not been safe for us to make mistakes, to not get everything done, to not do everything perfect. Listen, it starts with giving yourself grace to make mistakes, to mess up, to fail. And then we show other people how we expect to be treated by how we treat ourselves. If you're most critical on yourself more than any other person, listen, that might be a pattern in your life where you believe that that's what's helped you get up to this point in time, is how harsh you are with yourself. But I want to ask you this. Would you say the things to another person that you say to yourself? And if so, why? If not, why are you saying it to yourself? Why do we feel that we're justified in speaking it that way to ourselves, that we would never talk to somebody else? Give yourself the same grace that you afford to other people, and you'd be surprised how much more productive you're going to get in your life by doing that. I'm serious. This might be a scary and a risky thing for you to try out even. But I want you to maybe take a risk today where you step into giving yourself the same grace that you give others, and just do it as a little experiment and see what happens. I know in my life, when I started doing that, I started creating more. My income went up. My relationships increased. The peace in my heart, the happiness in my life went up when I started giving myself grace and stopped beating myself up and getting upset and punishing myself the way that I wanted other people to do. Unfortunately, that's what it was. I wanted other people to be harsh with me, and they weren't. And so I was like, well, bless God, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to be harsh on myself. I'm going to treat myself in an abusive way. And that created a cycle where I ended up projecting that onto other people. It's a vicious cycle. So I had to cut it off. I had to end it. When I did that, when I ended that cycle, my productivity went up. My production went up. My consistency and focus in every single area in life increased. And that's what's going to happen for you as well. I truly believe it. So this week, try it out. Commit to it. Not being so harsh with yourself. Ask yourself, what's an area that I feel insignificant in? What's an area that I feel fearful of getting in trouble, getting punished? What's an area that I feel insecure about? And then start to trust yourself more. Start to step into peace and start to step into joy and flow from a place of joy and having fun in those areas. I'm actually reading this book. It's called The Pathway to Powerful. Learning to Lead a Courageous, Connected Culture by Carla Chudd and Danny Silk. And it has completely transformed the way that I look at that. And I actually got that from there, asking yourself, where do I feel insignificant? Where do I feel afraid of getting punished? And where do I feel insecure? And if I can look at those areas, I can reverse them by what's the truth that God says about me. As soon as I started doing that, the way that I was projecting things, the way that I was making content, my focus in my business shifted and changed. So I recommend that book to you, and I recommend giving yourself grace to not have to do everything perfect and to enjoy the process. It's going to be worth it in the end. Talk soon, everybody.